Thank you, and welcome again to another Proud of It podcast. I appreciate those out there that are finally waking up to the facts, but we are still asleep as our children's lives are being affected in many ways through the media, through their own parents, through the social aspect of society these days, to the point where just a few months ago I was going to a fair, a county fair, and I'm walking around and I'm seeing the most obscene outfits that you could actually put on children at such young ages, and wonder why they are being raped, sodomized, and destroyed by pedophiles and even their own families. And it is a sickening side of society now that is allowing such sexual deviance to be placed upon such innocent children and such great lives that these children should have, but they're being abused, they're being threatened, they're being just totally beat down by the society with which they live in. A society that shows no longer that they care about children. Adults only care about adults. They don't care about the children. They don't care about what is happening with their children, only if they're getting in trouble. Not if it's the other way around. They don't care that their little girls are going to school and being sexually assaulted, verbally assaulted, and boys as well. All this happening right up underneath the uncaring parents of this world. This world is totally in denial. The media is totally in denial of what is going on within this society. This society is so corrupt, so sick, that it's just like I was talking to many of my friends and confidants that we're living in a world now where children can dress whatever the way they want to dress, and we think it has no aspect of what's going to happen to them. But what we don't see is everything that is happening to them. Everything that is continuing to happen generation after generation, and more and more and more. And now it is an epidemic. If anything is an epidemic within many countries, nations right now, is the fact that children are not being treated as children. They're being treated as slaves, as sex slaves. They're being treated very hostile. They're being treated in such a way that is so unloving and so uncaring by even the parents, by even their own family, is treating these children in such abusive ways that it would make any of us want to come to their rescue. But many are not coming to the rescue. Many are not speaking out on how much trauma is being introduced into the lives of our children's childhoods. And so much is happening within children these days that is very sickening. And this is a warning to those out there that this is a true statement. There is probably more sexually abused children within their own households than those outside of their household. There is probably more sexual assaults within their own home, family homes, than they are inside the school systems, inside the foster care, even though those are aspects as well of what is happening with our children. The sexual mire that they're caught up in, and how they are being so badly assaulted that when they go to school and are assaulted, they feel that it's just normal, that it's just a normal day in the neighborhood. It's just a part of their growing up. That's where they're at now with it. Adults are not taking responsibility for the children that's been placed in their care. They're allowing girls as young as probably 5 or 6 to continually be assaulted. Girls and boys. Assaulted on both ends of the spectrum. The foster parents sexually assaulting them, the foster care sexually assaulting them, verbally assaulting them. And we are living in a very hellish world right now, people. If you haven't woke up to the facts yet, if you haven't studied many of my pretty much documentaries on these subjects, you need to study. Because it's still happening. It's happening right now in your town, in your city. Many children are being totally vandalized by the society, which is here to protect them, but does not. Many girls and boys are totally lost within this culture. They are totally don't even know where they belong within this culture that is continuing to allow many devilish, satanic, outright evil people to continue to live within our societies and corrupt the minds of our innocents. They are not. This right here, what is happening with giving children the jab, should wake up everyone to the facts that the children are no longer cared about. Nobody is saying, hell no, I'm not going to let my kid be a guinea pig to your jab. We are living in a moment in time where when you look at children, they don't even look like children. They look like they're either grown-ups or very close to it. Because they have been put in very, very bad situations. And many are in very bad situations as we speak. But like I said, the media says nothing about it. They don't say nothing about the rapes, the murders, the catastrophes that are happening within school systems, within families. How many pedophiles out there are destroying the lives of so many children, so many innocent bodies. And all we do is stand aside and continue to watch, continue to groan, continue to vote as though that solves this, that will ever solve this problem. No, that is the problem. Voting has not solved any problems. Our problems continue to perpetuate further and further down the line, more and more being introduced into it. And we are living in a time where many should be asking, and if you're not, then you're one of those who do not care about your children, nor the children within your communities, and within your states, within your governments, within your nations, and you should be ashamed of yourself right now for allowing such innocence to be broken through the pain and the anger that these children are feeling because they are not being treated with such kindness and love as they should. Children are our gifts from God. They should be treated as such. And we should give them the time of day. Quit working your thousands of hours at work, allowing your kids to run rampant, causing all kinds of mayhem within their own towns and cities. And you should start to understand that you need to be there for them. You need to be there for the purpose of loving them, raising them, and not letting anybody get close enough to touch them. But as I've said before, some are being touched inappropriately by the very parents that are raising them. It is sickening, and many are not speaking on it. Many go to school. Many kids are going to school, and the counselors are not saying nothing. The counselors are not being involved. And grown-ups, because I'm grown myself, know when a child is in this type of environment. It is very easy to tell when children are in this type of environment. And it is very sickening to know how many adults out here in this world are allowing it, being a part of it, and enjoying it. And it's even worse to know how many are not fighting against it, that are not wanting to wake up, just wanting to ignore it, and then wonder why these children are slipping into drugs, alcohol abuse, more physical abuse from a pimp or a turning to prostitution because of how they feel inside, worthless. We should have more respect for our children than we do for our own selves. We should hold anyone trying to teach the evil that is being taught within these school systems accountable for their actions. If anybody should be getting whooped right now, it should be the school teachers, the superintendents, the principals, and the sorry asses out here trying to bring our kids to love evil and hate good. We should be out here making sure our children are being taught what we want them to be taught, being treated as though we want them, how we want them to be treated. And we should not allow such evil to be assimilated to teach our kids these gross, negligent ideas and theories about our culture, about our history, and about sexual behavior. Many are being taught that a little touching and a little feeling is no problem. Many kids don't even know they're in a sexual, abusive, verbal relationship because they've been in it for so long, since the beginning of their young lives. And it is a gross negligence of even our police departments, and even, like I said, the adults within these school systems that are continuing to not be a part of this craziness that continues to happen. And where are we, parents? Where are we, adults? Where are we? Why are we continuing to allow such evil to run rampant within our society? Why are we turning our heads to the facts of life? That these actions are taking place, and nobody's saying anything. And even if they are saying something, still nobody's doing nothing about it. And just like TV and the media, they talk about all issues except the most important one within our society, which are our children, our schools, the whole entire fabric of what is there to protect our children in this society, and how it's not protecting them. How school bus drivers are allowing sexual assaults to take place just because they don't want to get involved. They don't want to have to make a statement that everybody else could be angry over, or that they feel threatened. They feel threatened by the children involved because they're gang related, or they're already threats of violence if anybody tells on what's going on the bus or within the school or wherever. I mean, this stuff is happening, people. It's happening more prevalent. It is more known about, but nobody says anything. More known about, but nobody's listening. I mean, it is a disgrace, people. It is a disgrace of how bad our society has got with this problem. And our children are being raised up to feel entitled, and many other problems. They're raising them up to not work. They're raising them up to say, if you're not making $1 million a year, then you're not doing anything. They're raising them up to complain, be complainers, be agitators, raising them up to be whores, the women to be whores, raising the men up to think that being a thug, acting like a thug, a pimp, is what is the most, is the most distinguished job, is to be a pimp and a prostitute and all these other things. And we're further letting our kids fall off a cliff. Millions of kids every day are falling off of cliffs. Many kids are jumping off the cliff. They're not being pushed. They're just jumping because the rest of their society is allowing them to jump. We're allowing them to listen to whatever music they want to listen to. We're allowing them to watch any TV that they want to watch. We're allowing them to watch any movie they want to watch. We're allowing them to watch pornography on your parents' computer, on the parents' computer. They're watching pornography. On the school computer, they're watching pornography. On every aspect, that's what I'm saying. And people are continuing to allow it to happen. Nobody's speaking out against it. Most parents don't even care. They think it's normal. Oh, that's just Johnny being Johnny. Johnny does that. Sarah, she does that sometimes. She likes to look at a little lesbian porn. She likes to look at a little, Johnny, he likes to look at a little, a little gay sex every now and then. Little Johnny does. Oh, that's just being Johnny. The parents, we have allowed parents not to be parents. We're allowing parents not to be parents. We're allowing children not to be children. We're allowing girls not to be girls. We're allowing boys not to be boys. This society has went completely freaking nuts. It is completely nuts. It is way out of hand. The people we have in power have no power. They act with no power. They speak with no power because they have no power. They have no power to change anything. They don't have any say-so in changing anything because they're a part of what is going on. They've been a part of what is going on. They've been in the pedophile rings. They've been a prostitute. They've been a sex slave. We have a vice president right now who's been a whore most of her whole entire life. She's been screwing every guy that she can possibly screw to become the lady she is today. And we welcome that. We applaud that. We say, oh, good job. Yeah, you had to screw a couple of guys. But you're teaching the young girls right. That's what you do to get in power is you screw as many men as you possibly can so that they'll shut up when you start to implement stupid-ass policies like our vice president has. I mean, we are totally off the rails, people. We are totally out of sync with the rest of the world. The rest of the world is just as bad, but we are getting there with them. And the thing is we know better. There's nothing we blame it on. Oh yeah, they try, parents try. Oh, well, my mom did it to me or my dad did it to me. So I thought it was right, my uncle done it, so I thought I'd do it. My nephew done it to me. Them are the excuses that Americans have. The other countries, they don't have no excuse either, but they try to give them. Oh, that's our religion. That's what our religion teaches. Is sexually assault women, girls, boys. That's what your religion tells you, and you follow it. Are you insane? And that's the thing too. This stuff is happening within our churches. They're happening right now within our churches. Women are being sexually assaulted. Teenagers being sexually assaulted. And we're not just talking women. We're talking men. We're talking boys. We're talking little girls. In our own religious forums, probably just as many sexual assaults. Still, though, like I said before, more sexual assaults within a child's home that they live at than anywhere else. And it's happening. It's been happening. And it's continuing to happen because nobody is saying anything. Nobody wants to face the elephant in the room. We wonder why our society continually goes further into abomination after abomination after abomination. Because many are choosing it. Many want it to happen. I mean, we're allowing transvestites to read to our children. Transvestites, people. Read to your children? Are you serious? Oh, a little touch on the leg from a transvestite is nothing, you know. A little hand down the pants, you know, ain't nothing. Transvestite. I mean, we are in a sick society when everybody's talking about Christianity like it's something bad. But I'm going to tell you something. These people in these churches that are saying that they're Christians, but they're raping little girls and boys, are not Christians. And quit blaming it on people that are Christian just to have your scapegoat so you don't have to even worry about Christianity. I'm telling you, you better get your mind right, people, because God, Jesus Christ, in God form, is coming to this earth. He's coming to this earth. And those that allow such evils and don't even speak out about them, you are going to find your place in a very bad hole. A very bad hole indeed. And if you continue to allow this evil within your homes, within your communities will rot. And you know, that's another thing, you know. I mean, a lot of these communities now have a little sex shop. And you know, every time the mom and dad goes by, it's got children things on it. And now these children are being susceptible from not even entering it, but just wanting to know what it is. What is that, Mommy? Oh, that's a little sex shop, honey. That's where they sell dildos and pocket pussies. That's where they sell all this. You know, in our communities. And people aren't even mad about it because they're in on it. This whole society, this whole nation is allowing it. It's a part of it. It thrives in it. The church congregation goes down there after Sunday to grab them some rolling papers so you can have the rolling papers for their small groups. You know, that's what you want to have. Oh yeah, get you some condoms too because you're going to have an orgy when you get to your small group. God isn't stupid, people. He knows exactly what's going on here. He knows exactly what is happening. He's not crazy, okay? God knows exactly what you're doing. He knows exactly what the society's doing. He knows exactly what these kids are being taught. Not even from their school pulpits, but from the church seats. From the Sunday school class. He knows what is being taught. He knows exactly what this society is trying to do. He knows exactly what this society is trying to become. It is trying to become a nation of sodomites, a nation of transvestites, a nation full of gays, full of lesbians, full of pedophiles, full of sexual assault, full of rape, full of murder, malice, full of everything that this society wants to be. This society wants to be a part of that. That's why they continue to allow it to happen and allow it to happen, and nobody and everybody just sends around, because my life is so important. My life is so important. I can't go out there and be violently killed because I speak out upon this. I've got a life to live. You know, I've got things to do. I want to see the Grand Canyon tomorrow. Who cares about what happens with these kids in these schools? I've got, oh, honey, I ain't got time to think about these these children in these schools. I've got to get to a church meeting tomorrow, so I can pray about it. Oh, praying about it is what God wants you to do. When you know this stuff is going on, people, if I'm speaking it, then there is many people that know that it's happening. They're just not doing anything about it. They don't want to do anything about it. They think, oh, I'll go vote next time. I'll make it right with voting. Voting ain't done nothing. Nothing. You know, it's just like, okay, some of y'all out there, I know you watch it. You've watched that little It movie that's out there, that little It movie. And he tells Beverly very clearly, you haven't changed nothing. You haven't changed nothing. So you can get a lot from anything. You just gotta pull back the veil a little bit, and you can see a little bit. Even that movie is telling every adult in America and around this world, you haven't changed nothing. I'm still going to continue to rape them. I'm going to continue to preach to them lies and deceit. And I'm still going to get them. You haven't changed nothing. And just like that, that's where you're at. That's where you're at right now. You haven't changed nothing. You're still going to your job every day. You're still making time for soccer. You're still making time for all these things to happen to your children, because guess what? You haven't changed nothing. Oh, one pedophile goes to jail, another one right back in its place. Oh, one teacher gets caught getting screwed by 5 or 6 classmates, 6, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old maybe. Definitely 12 years old they're doing it. But that's what I'm saying, people. You haven't changed nothing. You keep saying, oh, I want to go be on the board of this. I want to go be this. I want to go. It isn't because you just want to be seen. You just want to be thought of as important. That's the only reason you did all this. And while you're doing all that you want people to see how important you are, the devil is raping, destroying, coming for your children's very lives. And you continue to allow it, and continue to allow it, and continue to allow it. You better wake up, people. You better wake up. You better send a wake-up call to every part. You better understand that while you're not doing anything, God is coming. And if you don't do anything, He's going to do something to you. And what He does is going to change the whole entire game. He's going to change the whole entire game. Get real with reality. Quit thinking that there's nothing you can do. As long as you're breathing, as long as you're alive, you can do something. And you should do something. And it isn't voting. You should raise ever-loving hell until things do change. You should go to these schools, to these abortion clinics. You should go everywhere you can go and change everything you can change. Do not sit idly by while your children's lives are being totally destroyed. While your whole entire community gets dragged further and further down the rabbit hole that's happening. I just know that we only have a little time to change a childhood's mind, to change a childhood's development, and we don't have time to sit around and vote every 4 years about it. Two presidents and their childhood's gone. We don't have time. We have to change it now. We have to change it right freaking now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. I thank you again for joining this broadcast. I hope that this message hits home, because it really hit home with me watching so many children's lives be ruined, not only by society and the media, but by their own parents, by their own families. And I just hope that we can get a grip on this in our society and quit allowing these people a chance to even have one moment with our children. Thank you. Have a great day.